file for divorce, and then you guys work it out. Then you file for divorce, and you guys work it out. File for divorce, work it out. What keeps you guys coming back, and then what causes you guys to file again?
I think that we love each other as friends, and I think we lack extreme transparency. And, because we care about each other's emotions. But I think we're the same person, and I think sometimes you gotta restart it completely.
Okay, I guess Ray J talking about him and his wife. Well, maybe wife, maybe
You'll
soon
never
to
know.
be, right? But what do you feel about, like, I guess, like, constantly trying to make it work when it seems to not work in a relationship?
I feel like it's a reason that if you keep trying and something not working out, it's obviously that it's not meant to be. Because if that's the case, you wouldn't have to keep breaking up because y'all having differences. Like, I'll say, yeah, in a relationship, it's like an emotional roller coaster. Like, you're going to be mad at a person one day, you're going to be happy at a person another day, and it's just not meant to be constant. Like,
Right.
you're going to have problems in the relationship, but for you to constantly separate, okay, y'all separated one time and just to get some space so y'all can think, like, how could we be better? What can we do once we get back together to be stronger so we can prevent this from happening? But if you constantly keep doing it over and over and over and over again, it kind of get old.
Right.
And it's like, what's the purpose of being together if we constantly having differences and we have to constantly keep separating? So it's like wasting time.
Wasting time in a way. Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Like I said in, I think one of the old videos, my personal opinion is God doesn't make it hard to live life, hard to love. So I feel like sometimes when things is constantly like bumping heads, maybe it's not meant to be. Like, maybe you can probably be like holding yourself back from what's really meant for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like everybody have like that somebody that's meant for them? Because I always hear people say, God got somebody for you. So do you think like somebody is waiting for somebody, everybody, I guess?
I don't believe in love at first sight like that. Like,
No, not love at first sight,
but I'm like, I know what you're saying. Like, I don't like, it's somebody for everybody because it's a billion people in the world. But I can't say like I just walk out in the world and be like, you're just perfect for me. Like, you don't know that until you get to know somebody, because you might have 3-4 people that you like talking to, and it's like you have to choose one because that's just the way it is. So it's like, I can't say that it's one person that's perfect for you. You just have to go out and find the right person for you.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying. Like, the person that's perfect for you isn't made for you. It's like y'all just have chemistry together, and because there's gonna be some things when you first meet a person that you don't like, and you just have to get used to that person, and eventually you'll like that person. But that don't mean that this person is perfectly made for me. We just learn to grow together, and that's how we become meant for each other.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Let's see what else Ray J had to say about his relationships.
To understand if you do want to start over. Starting over means to totally deactivate what is. Because if you don't deactivate what is, you never really started over. Like, if I say I'm gonna take everything off my Instagram, I got it in my archives. When the archives is done, all those memories are over with. And you start over.
I guess what I feel about starting over is like, it's okay, but after so many times, it's like, when are you gonna like stop starting over? When can you discontinue? When can you just resume the movie instead of like when I fall asleep, like I always start the movie over and over again.
Yeah.
So basically it's like that. Like, when can you like acknowledge like we messed up in the beginning, but we gonna continue to ride it out instead of constantly trying to start over or constantly trying to forget like the past? Because I feel like if you don't truly learn from the past and you constantly starting over, it's really no point.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna start over and you're gonna do the same thing again. So what's your thoughts on like just starting over in a relationship constantly?
I don't agree with starting over all the time because that gives the opportunity for somebody else to come in.
Yeah.
So it's like, y'all break up, you thinking about like the hurt and the emotional things that happened that caused y'all to break up, and then somebody out the blue just come in and start talking to you and making you feel a better way about yourself. It's like that's coming in between you and the other person, they just split up. So it's like you might as well stay separate at that point because it allows an opportunity for somebody else to come in and take the place of the person that caused you that hurt.
Yeah. And also, people kind of like view starting over as a reset, which is cool in some aspects in life. But it's like when it's all said and done, I don't know. It's just different when it comes to relationship to me because, like you said, when you
like
give
you can't. My fault for cutting you out, but I feel like you can't just start over because you gonna remember.
Like
he talking like you just can delete everything that y'all just did, like nothing just ain't happened. But it's like you can always try to act like you gonna forget, but in the back of your mind, you gonna remember like this man did this to me, and you gonna kind of hold that against him a little bit, like when you get back together. So it's like you never just officially start over from fresh because the memories don't never go away.
Yeah. The only thing I can say you can do is not start over, but I guess like just come to reality, at some point in your relationship. I feel like a lot of people probably be like holding on to relationships that they feel that's not gonna work, but they still, feel it in their heart like, man, we gotta work. But sometimes you can't force things in life because I don't know. I feel like when you start forcing things, you start turning into a person that you're not, and now you starting to affect you as an individual. So I don't know. Relationships are kind of different when it's come to starting over because in life, I feel like you can start over with a career, a job and stuff like that. But with relationship, you can't. You can forgive a person, but you just can't forget like the hurt and stuff. Like it'll always come back. And if a person show you an inch of what you have forgave them for, then it's like those memories and those heartbreaks will come back into your mind. So when it comes to like relationship, do you think a person fully forgive if they still don't forget in a way? Because I know a lot of people say forgive, but don't forget. But do you think it's truly a forgivable? No, do you think it's truly like a way to forgive if you like still remember?
Yeah, you can forgive anybody, but you will never forget what they done. Of course, you're not gonna hold it against them, but it's like you can't forget what they have done because you can be naive and that person can do it again. But also, they're still not the same thing as forgiving, though. Forgiving is just like you allowing that person to come back in your life. Like you believe that they can be better, but it is a possibility that they won't be better.
Right.
But it's like to forgive a person, I mean, you allowing them to come back in. So
I don't know, because it's like if you forgive someone, but you don't fully forget, like what I know you just can't erase your mind and stuff like that. But if you still have like those thoughts in the back of your head, I don't know if that's like truly forgiving someone, because it's almost like you holding on to what they once did to you. So it's like,
but that's not holding on though, because it ain't like you just brain zap, like it just gone. Like you gonna remember like anything. Time heals all wounds. Like it takes time to get back to where y'all once be, but you can't just forget all the things that happened. But you can move on. That's part of forgiving, like moving on from that point. But that don't mean that you forget completely about what happened, because you just can't do that. It's impossible unless you got Alzheimer's or something.
Right.
But
so what if you like stuck in the past? Does that mean that you forgive?
If you stuck in the past, no, you don't forgive them because you're not moving on. If we moving on to the future, you still stuck on what I did in the past. Like I'm trying to get past that.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to better myself for the future, and you still did this and doing that, because that's gonna make you act some type of way towards me, even though I'm trying to be better. So it's like you not forgiving if you still stuck.
Yeah, stuck on stoop.
Yeah.
Let's see what else he said.
If we always got archives and we keep coming back and putting all the archives back up on the map, we'll never be able to like wipe the slate clean. And so I think wiping the slate clean like we doing now is important for us as parents and friends, and telling ourselves that, hey, that was a good run and I'll never take it back.
But
that's true.
But I feel like with starting over, bro, I feel like you shouldn't have to start over. I feel like you just can just communicate.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like in life, things just get old too.
yeah. Like, you getting too grown to be like, okay, we just finna take a break. Like, bro, what you mean? It ain't no break. We together. We done built all this together. You talking about a break?
Do you think a lot of parents try to work it out due to the kids?
Yeah.
Like in a lot of
For
situations?
sure. Because it's like, bro, nobody don't want their kid to go through
Yeah.
that. Like, see both of their parents fighting. Because
Right.
I remember when I was a kid, I didn't want to see my parents argue and be mad at each other and all type of stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you gotta do it for the kids, because a kid's success depends on their parents. So if both of your parents together, it's like their chances of success is higher. But if y'all split up, it's like I only can get information from my mama, or I only can get information from my dad. So it's like you don't have both of your parents together to make a strong household. The household weak when the mom by theyself and the dad by theyself. Because what if you got a son? It's like, how he gonna learn to be a man when he getting raised by his mama, and vice versa, like a daughter. How she gonna learn to be a daughter, a woman, and being raised by the dad? So it's like it gonna mess the whole household up.
Yeah, that's true. So sticking together is important in a relationship when you got kids. But do you think it harm, like, I guess, the intimacy of the relationship? Like when you trying to stick together just for that cause? Like, do you think it put like a down?
Yeah, because that ain't real though.
Yeah.
Like, you doing it for the kids, but are you doing it for y'all too?
Yeah.
Because y'all was first before the kids.
Right.
So it's like this gonna be fake on y'all, because they're gonna cause y'all to step outside y'all relationship, because you really don't love the person. Like, you just doing it for this thing over here, and it's like that's not true love at the end of the day, and it's gonna cause like a split eventually, because it's
Yeah.
fake.
What would be like your definition of like unconditional love?
Loving somebody without having like a motive.
Yeah,
Or
that's true.
loving somebody without viewing them like for what they have,
Yeah.
or what they have to offer. So I feel like you just love them just because of the person they are. You don't
Yeah.
love them because they got a big house or they giving you this type of opportunity. That's why I feel like a lot of relationships fall at when, like, in the entertainment industry, like they marry each other. It might be good for the moment, like he's a good person, but you wouldn't have talked to this person if he was broke, or
Yeah.
he wasn't Ray J, and you wouldn't talk to her if she wasn't fine and bad and have social media presence. So it's like they already come in the situation looking at, oh, I'm talking to this person and I'm talking to her, and it's already starting off on the wrong track.
Yeah. So basically you saying like getting to know each other like in the beginning is like way better than, like, I guess, trying to click up with somebody and trying to
Then
meet
y'all
on
eventually get together. Yeah, because it's like you only clicking over me because who I am, not the person I am. You just clicking over because of my name.
Right.
So it's like this what you falling in love with first. Then when I don't be Ray J no more, it's like, will you still love me?
Right.
And it's like 9 times out of 10 they ain't. They gonna go to somebody else. They supposed to be a baller or whatever.
Yep, because they may only had one wish.
Yep. But do you think what's the key for longevity in the relationship?
Man, the key to longevity in a relationship is basically like you and your partner have to be in sync with a lot of things in life. Sometimes your partner and you have to be thinking the same thing without both of y'all saying nothing. I feel like a lot of relationships work. I heard him say that we are two of the same people. Not to answer the question with a question, but do you feel like two of the same people can work in a relationship? Because I always hear like on different opinions. Like some people say two people of the same kind can work, and some people say it can't work. Like if you have two of the same people in a relationship.
Yeah, it can work, because if you by yourself, it gonna have to work. So it's like it's just like having two of you. So I don't agree with two of the same people unless you just have bad ways.
Right.
Then this gonna affect you by yourself. So you not gonna work, period. But if you a good person, you have good money management, good communication skills, and the other person have the same thing, how this not gonna work? So it's all based upon the person. If you a bad person and they're a bad person, of course everything gonna be bad.
Yes. And I feel like just in general, we have to learn how to work on ourselves before we try to go and articulate and try to put together a relationship with someone else, because it's like if you don't know yourself, it's like how can you get to know someone else? How can you love someone else? How can you even show who you are to somebody else if you don't know yourself?
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like that's where a lot of people start off wrong at. They just be looking for love in all the wrong places, and then when they get with someone, they true self start coming out. And maybe like that person don't like their true self. Maybe that person like they fake self. And so now it's like a battle in between, like, self-discovery and at that point.
I got a question. So say like Ray J situation where they keep breaking up and getting back together, breaking up and getting back together. What do you think is the main reason for them to keep coming back? Like what makes them?
Honestly, I feel like a lot of people constantly come back because this is what you used to. It's easy to go back to someone that you already know. It's easy to like just click with someone that you've been through, hell and back with. Yeah. So with that being said, I feel like that be the reason. Like people don't want to put in the work to get to know somebody else because as you know, and I'm sure everybody else know, like getting to know someone and starting from the top is like it's a strenuous situation. Like starting from friend zone again and then having to work your way up to meet someone else. And then when you meet them, you get together just to break up again. Yeah, now you starting back over. So with that being said, it's like hard to wrap your mind across like just starting over again with someone else. So you try to make it work with this person, because you got the history. But I feel like just because you got the history don't means like you'll, be together in the future. So I don't know. I that's what I feel like. A lot of people constantly come back to the same person because they fear starting over with someone else and it end up being the same thing.
I got a question. I hear a lot of people like, we young and married, but I hear a lot of people like, y'all at the honeymoon phase. So do you think love has like get stronger as with experience? Like, cause when people get old, they be like, I've been in a marriage for 23 years. So do you think that holds more weight than say like me and you together? We only been together for like 5-6 years married. Yeah. So it's like,
I feel like a lot of people, when you get older, a lot of people stop doing the things in the honeymoon phase. So like, I don't feel like years matter because like, as you continue to grow older and if you grow away from your partner, no matter how many years y'all together, then it's like the relationship is not going to be as strong. Yeah. Versus like, if you're in a honeymoon stage and, you and your partner have that close connection and throughout the years, it remain close, no matter if it's 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, like as long as that honeymoon stage stay there, then I feel like that over trumps like the relationship with the 23-year-old relationship. I feel like a lot of people just like Ray J and people like they probably been married for quite some time, but it's like that's a good example. Is their relationship stronger than ours just because they've been together for the long run, which you can clearly see like they having problems and stuff. So apparently not. So time doesn't do nothing.
So what makes the difference then?
I feel like what makes the difference is it just come back to the two people. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you do in life, time gonna keep on rolling. So with that being said, time is just a thing in the past. Yeah. And what's solid is the love that you have for each other, the love that continue to grow over time. So time is just like a variable. It's just there. And then you multiply it by the love that you have for someone. So you can be friends with somebody for 10, 15 years, but I can meet a friend that I had for 1 and 2 years and I have a more closer relationship with them. So that all depends on like, the things that person may like to do that the 10-year friend don't like to do. Yeah. So when it comes to time is nothing. And people have to realize like you'll let time go by and grow out of love, but you got to always remain in that honeymoon stage. Do things that you did in the beginning of your relationship so that it can last in the end.
Oh, I got one more question. Cause I get this all the time. Why do you think people be like, man, they ain't even been through nothing yet. Like they ain't like Ray J face, like break up and get back together. Why people think like you have to go through that to have a successful relationship?
I feel like a lot of people think you have to go through that because nowadays that's the norm. When you think about it, nowadays that's the new norm where people break up, get together, break up, get together. Go have a baby by this person, then get back together with the person that you was just with. It just be too much of the mess. Story. Exactly. Yeah. But name a lot of people that just ride it out through their whole marriage. You don't see that. So when people do see something good, they look down on it because it's like it ain't gonna last. Like y'all will be arguing, y'all will be breaking up and doing all these things when y'all get older. But it's like some relationships just not like that. Sometimes you got two people that know exactly what they want out of life, that know exactly what they want out of love, and they just ride it out. Yeah. Because I feel like it's kind of weak to when things get challenging and things get hard for you to leave your partner. And when you get married, they say for better or for worse, and you only with them for the better part and not the worst. Yeah. So with that being said, like I can't agree. Like when people always be like, you too young, you ain't experienced life yet. But it's like, okay, if I'm young at 7 years of marriage, and then I'm young at 10 years of marriage, then I'm young at 15 years, like it's like how old are you gonna be young?
Yeah, that's true. It is true.
How old are you gonna be young?
That's true.
Yeah, so I want y'all to answer that in the comments. That's a good question. How old are you gonna be young?
Yeah, that's true.
So y'all gotta watch the whole thing to know what that means.
But I feel like a lot of people just go based on what they see other people do.
Yep.
Because they don't. It is rare to see like two people that ain't had no problems.
Yeah, it's rare.
And just ride it out to the sunset.
Yeah.
And it's like there's something that people not used to seeing, so of course they gonna judge it like they just cute together.
Yeah.
They ain't been through nothing yet. But it's like, how do you know that we gonna go through anything?
Right.
When two people is focused, it's like you don't got time to be arguing about petty stuff. It's like, bro, it's time. Like you gonna have your little disagreements, but it's like you got to see the bigger picture. Yeah. Like we don't got time to be splitting up and getting back together. I want to take a break. I want to talk to this person. Like this wasting too much time. You either gonna be with me or you not. Because it's like right now at this day and age, it's like it's getting serious. Like it's getting harder, and nobody don't got time to be not knowing that you really here for me or you ain't. So it's like people got to understand like everybody's situation and how everybody think is different. Just because you see this relationship is like this, that don't mean another relationship gonna be like that. Because everybody their own person. Everybody build their relationship off different things. So it's like you can't judge somebody based off their age or based off how long you been in a relationship. Because like I said, everybody different.
Yes, and just come back to like people just not used to it, man. Like people not used to.
Some of the people that watching this video, they just talking. They be having problems and they ain't gonna last.
But like I always tell you, when a part of your life is good, why mess it up? Yeah. So if your love life is good, don't go dibbling, dabbling, and trying to be greedy, and then trying to look and want and search for something else when you got something good right in front of you. Yeah. So people have to realize, like, work on something else in your life that needs work on. If your love life is good, don't be going to entertain no one else because that can cause like conflict in your relationship.
You gotta know what you have. But I feel like a lot of people cheat because they don't value that person that they with. Like, because if you got somebody that you really love and you scared, like you gotta literally be scared to lose your person. Yes. Because like with you, like I know I'm not gonna find nobody that think like you and gonna grind like you. So it's like it's kind of hard to find somebody else to do that. So why would I step outside my relationship knowing like it's rare to find somebody like that?
And one thing in life, you can never find someone else within someone else.
Yeah, that's fact.
Because everybody is their own person.
Yep. They might have qualities, but
never go looking for, like, I'm not finna go look for a Trilly in another guy because it's not gonna happen. Like, you your own person. So
and that's dumb anyway, though, because it's like, why go find a Trilly when you got a Trilly?
Exactly.
Like, that's retarded.
You try to go get the same thing that you done messed up.
Like, cause a lot of people be cheating. Like, say like you got a guy and you cheated on him with another guy, but it's like I like the qualities of this person, but not everybody perfect though. Like you can't get every quality of something. Like everybody gonna have a different quality that you like or dislike. So it's like, why not stay with the same person? Like I'm not saying like it's different if you like I don't truly love the person. Okay, cool, but that don't mean you gotta go cheat though.
Right.
You can just be like, I don't feel like this gonna work out because of XYZ and move on. Yes, hearts might be broken, but at least you kept it real.
Yeah. And I just want to leave people with this one thing that I hear everybody say: don't be the product of, like, dang, I done lost it, but don't be the product of when you lose someone, like, dang, I forgot
I know what
it.
you trying to say. Don't be the product of when you lose somebody, you trying to come back to them. Like, dang,
Like, no.
never...
This is what it is. This is what it is. When, hold on, I think it done left again.
Oh my God.
Hold on, it's coming back, y'all. It's important and it's simple, and we hear it all the time. When you realize you have someone good, no, people realize they have someone good when they're gone. So in life and in your love life, don't take people for granted, because when they gone, you sure enough gonna see the impact, the positivity, the love, the enjoyment like they had on your life. Yeah. Because I hear it all the time, like, man, I had something
even like
good.
the little things they do. Yes. You're gonna be like, dang, I didn't even know she used to do that.
I had something
and you gotta
good.
go do it. And you be like, dang, I should never did that.
So
yo,
don't be the product of that.
Facts.
So thanks for stopping by and listening to us on Only the Real Podcast.
As always, remember to stay rich, educated, and legendary.
And I guess just comment your thoughts on, do you agree or disagree when it comes to taking breaks in the relationships? Because I want to know what y'all think.
And just like that,
y'all, we out.